Hello, my name is Luis Mercado, and this presentation will be covering my book report on workplace ethics by Paul Falcone. I chose this book because it's designed for people like me, young professionals entering the workforce, and I wanted something practical that tied directly into the real ethical challenges we've discussed in class. I'll be going over the author and main themes present throughout the book, its relevance to ethics and professional reflection, alongside its key takeaways and how I'll use them in aspects of my recommendation. Yes, the author and main themes from the book. About the book. So, the author's name is Paul Falcone, and he's a well known HR executive and certified executive leadership coach, as well as a member for the SHRM Speakers Bureau, and that stands for Society for Human Resource Management. That's crazy. However, this book, Workplace Ethics Mastering Ethical Leadership and Sustaining a More Workplace, was published in 2022, and it focuses on how leaders at all levels can build ethical cultures. It's broken into short chapters, and it includes real world examples and tools for what to say and how to say it. Well, that format made it easy to read and actually begin to apply it in my day to day. Some of the major themes in this book include leading with integrity, setting clear expectations, handling gray areas, building trust, and role modeling. Falcone focuses on how everyday decisions and conversations can either support or harm ethical culture. I thought this tied really well into what we talked about in class about how ethical behavior isn't just about knowing right from wrong, but rather about creating an environment where ethical behavior becomes the norm. Following this, I'll be covering the book's relevance to ethics and a personal reflection about the book. Relevance to ethics. Workplace ethics ties directly into the themes we studied this semester. For example, when we talked about moral disengagement in Module 6, or the pressures to manipulate financials in Module 8. I kept thinking about the importance of leadership and culture that Falcone emphasizes, and just like Trevino showed how leadership affects employee ethics, Falcone shows how to actually lead that way, reinforcing the importance of everyday ethical behavior along the way. In my opinion, this book was especially meaningful as someone about to enter the accounting profession. We've learned that accountants often face subtle pressure to fudge the numbers or even ignore red flags. Falcone provides these examples of how to manage pressure and respond confidently in those great areas without losing our jobs, or our integrity for that matter, doing the right thing at the end. Workplace ethics made me feel more prepared for the real world. And yeah, in a world where it's easy to justify cutting corners, Falcone reminds us that real leadership means doing what's right, especially when no one's watching. And the quote that stuck with me is, "You're not being paid to be busy, you're being paid to be effective." And the most effective are those who build trust, lead with character, and act with integrity, even when no one's watching. In my opinion, this captures exactly what I want to carry into my career, choosing character and trust over those shortcuts. That, to me, is what mastering ethical leadership truly means. Last but not least, I'll be going over key takeaways and what do I recommend about this book. I plan to use what I learned in my day to day life, whether it's pausing to reflect before making a judgment call, applying ethical decision making tools, or just holding my team accountable kindly and fairly. I'll also use what I learned in this book as a guide to make honest decisions, handle conflicts with professionalism, and lead with empathy, even when I'm not the boss, whether it's in client meetings, team projects, or standing up for what's right when something feels off. I plan to bring these skills into every part of my work. With that, I see that ethical leadership isn't about having a title, it's more about consistency and character. I also learned that these choices aren't just theoretical. According to Ethics and Compliance Initiative, 1 in 3 employees feel pressure to compromise ethical standards to meet business goals. That's a third of employees. I don't want to be one of them. Or worse, create that kind of pressure for others. Wow. Now, would I recommend this book? Most definitely, yeah. It's written in plain, digestible language, it has quick chapters, and because it offers practical, relatable guidance for navigating ethical challenges in real world workplace settings, something every young professional entering the accounting field needs. Falcone doesn't just talk about theory, right? He breaks down workplace dilemmas into clear, easy to follow scenarios, right? And it gives practical advice on how to handle them with integrity and professionalism. What makes the book even more helpful is how it connects ethical leadership to personal values. I believe that's what sets it apart. It encouraged me to be the kind of leader who sets the tone for ethical behavior, even in environments where that's not the norm. Falcone emphasis on accountability, clear communication, and standing up for what's right gave me a solid foundation to lean on. And overall, I believe this book is a must read for anyone who wants to grow into a leader who not only succeeds professionally, but also creates a workplace culture others can trust and respect. So, to wrap up, this book reminded me that ethics is less about rules in huge dramatic moments and more about the little choices we make every day. It's about leading by example and creating cultures where people feel safe and respected, shaping the normal within a company. That's the kind of professional I want to be. And this book helped me map a path to get there. And this will conclude my book report on workplace ethics. Thank you.